What's happening, everyone? As usual, that's Mikey and I'm Narby. We are going to review our very first Armagnac. We have a bottle of Derroze 40-year-old. This is bottled at 43%. And then Derroze it's a Bass Armagnac, the most popular kind. And Derroze is basically an independent bottler that is known to bottle some of the very best Armagnacs. So a lot of times independent bottler can kind of have a bad name, but it's the opposite here. They are known to bottle some of the really, really, really best. Kind of like old Gordon MacPhails, you could kind of say. So yeah, it's a 40-year-old grape spirit from the Armagnac region. So it's not a cognac, it's an Armagnac. It's going to be slightly different. A lot of times it is. And you're getting a 40-year-old spirit here for around $200. Just compare that to Scotch whiskey. A 40-year-old spirit would cost you anywhere from $1,000 all the way up to like $5,000. So depending on which one you were getting. So you definitely save a lot of money by it not being as fashionable as Scotch and not as collectible as Scotch. So some of the very, very best values out there right now are with Armagnac because it doesn't have the cognac name either. And it all depends on what you like, but you can make the argument that Armagnac is kind of like an in-between cognac and Scotch in terms of cognac tends to be a little more sweeter than the Armagnacs tend to be. And the difference from which one you're doing, but overall it tends to be less sweet. So again, I think I mentioned it. This is bottled at 43%, 40 years old. And without further ado, it has a gorgeous color to it, as you guys could see. It's not super, super dark. It's not super, super light either.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle. Beautiful color.
This has been breathing for about 15 to 20 minutes. Because if you nose this, you would be very impressed. It's incredibly fruity. It's incredibly sweet in the right way, not too sweet. It's so sugar rich, so crystallized. The fruits are so crystallized. It's almost like you take an orange and lemon peel and you put a rich sugar over it and you cook it. And bake it. It's like, yeah. But it's stuck on. It doesn't melt. It's almost like it's stuck on. It's got that peel of the fruit and that sugar layer, and
Oh, it's just like a sugar and crystallized and almost like burnt and caramelized fruit party. Every orchard fruit you can think of. But I am getting, which is super nice, I'm getting just a little bit of really light toasted wood spice, which is awesome. And a lot of times, like Narb mentioned, with a grape spirit like cognac or Armagnac, the fear for us, Scotch guys, is really you're gonna have it be a little too grapey, a little too much of that basic fruit overpowering everything else. This is not like that with this guy. This guy, the orchard fruits and that toasted sweet wood spice are totally taking away any possible negative grape effects that I get with some cognac sometimes. So far so good. This is awesome.
You're getting nectarines and peaches in here.
Oh. Like rich stewed fruits and jams, like fruit that's just been soaking and cooking for hours. apricots, nectarines, peaches,
White,
plums, pears.
yeah, white grapes. Even the light hint of pineapple almost. Reminds me a little of white chocolate, that sweetness.
Yeah. Yeah, pineapple, even some mango, a little bit of papaya, tiny little bit of guava, like toasted guava. Oh wow.
Cinnamon, caramel. French toast in the morning.
Fruit crepes, basically.
Yeah.
Croissants, crepes, elements, with all the fruit in there.
It's got almost a light, ever so slight nutty element to it as well. It's not spicy in any way. It's very fruit driven. So it's light and friendly. Very sweet, almost approaching too sweet. It's not too sweet. It's almost approaching there.
Which is my main fear with cognacs and Armagnacs versus Scotch and whiskey.
There is another element to this, and I'm not doing a good job at picking it out. There's like another element that I'm not. Words aren't coming out. But just know that it's a high end quality product here for sure. It's a high end quality product. You put it to your nose, and you would think for sure this is a lot more expensive, you know.
And you can definitely get the age elements in the nose without even trying it yet in the palate. It's a really deep, rich, full of character, complex nose.
Yeah, I would think this is upwards towards $500 and more if you just gave it to me blind and said guess. Really unique palate.
Let's do it. Oh wow!
Fantastic. Wow. Super luscious. Super luscious on the palate. Actually, as you can see, we've had quite a bit of this. I like this on the palate almost more because it's not that sweet on the palate, right? It's not that, it doesn't have that that standard regular release kind of cognac sweetness. It's the drying elements of it is flawless. Love how dry the way it is, and then the fruits, the way they come out. It's very fruity, but it's not overly sweet. It's almost approaches overly sweet on the nose, where it almost. What I mean by that, it's almost like it's so fruity and sweet, where it's almost like juice. It's not even like a spirit. So that's where it's almost like weird. It's like, wow, is this even an alcoholic drink? So it almost gets to that point where it almost becomes fake at how sweet and fruity it is on the nose, even though it's not too sweet. There are other products out there that get too sweet, but on the palate it's not like that. It's beautiful, and it's harmonious with all the with some light oak and all those fruits coming through. It's just gorgeous on the palate. I really like it.
Yeah, it's the coolest thing. Just now before I took a sip, I was trying to pinpoint this element, and it was like kind of sweet wood spice, but it became like a purely toasted, almost burnt barbecued oak, but yet still sweet. And that ended up translating into the palate. So It starts out, and it's super luscious, juicy, fruity, fruits with a creamy mouthfeel, similar to what it was on the nose. But then really the toasted, burnt, almost caramelized wood and oak really comes through to balance it all out. It's really nicely drying, nicely numbing, not too alcoholic at all. The funny part is, it drinks stronger than 43%, but not alcoholic at all. So it's a perfect drinking strength. Might want to add a little water, but you don't even really need to.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, if you're feeling lazy.
I'm loving
It's
it.
really, really nice. Super drinkable, too drinkable.
Yeah, this would be a treat for anyone after a nice, great dinner experience. You want to follow it up with something like this as a treat, something that if you have people over your house and you want to show your guests something that they haven't tried. Most people have not tried something like this. You want to compare this to some cognacs that go for $1,000, around in that range, and this beats a lot of those. So again, this is coming from Scotch drinkers. That's definitely our favorite. But this is truly a unique product, a special product, and if you can find this, I would say for $200 or less. You can find it for less at some places, and at some places it's even more. But if you could find it in that range or a little bit less, and you're comfortable spending that amount, you can't go wrong. I'd be shocked if you weren't happy with the purchase. For me, this is a 91 out of 100. It's an excellent product.
Yeah, for me, I'll give it a 90 out of 100, which is a really strong score.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys. We do have some Armagnacs in store for you guys, so we'll do more of that. We'll also do some cognacs too. And we'll see you guys soon. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.